Hello everyone and welcome to Modern Horizons 3. This is my fourth draft of the set, so I'm not totally newbie here, but it's still very early for the set, in the set for me. Okay, so what's this thing? It's one of the free spells, not necessarily the best ever. This is for constructed. This can be good. This is potentially my pick here. Trickster's Elk is okay. There's a removal spell. I don't think I'm going to first pick this, although it is, totally playable, I would say. Yeah, these commons, they are of course good role players, but I think I like the Edged Slith. It is a menace creature with that can pick up more counters, maybe even bully the opponent a bit by the removing of counters thing. But I don't think the rare is here that great, so I'm taking the very good 2-drop. Now, of course, this is not so good later in the game, but you can still maybe modify this in order to make it a good attacker even later on. Alright, what's this? This is one of the lands. Oh, this is really good, because this spell is actually something you want to be casting, and then you have the option to play it as a land, even as an untapped land if you pay 3 life. That's really nice. The Wumpus Aberration is... I don't like it too much. I guess you can make it so that you can actually pay colorless mana. But I'm not sure. If I took a green card, I would take the Bridgeworks Battle here. The commons are not as good as that. There's a Cliff Elemental. Okay, that is a good one too, but I think I like the land spell slightly more, because the spell is quite good here. Yeah, you could take, the Cliff Elemental. Well, I mean, there's a lot of options there, but you have to take something, and I chose to take the battle here. And okay, that is another pact that offers me a Wumbus Aberration. Right. Well, if I took the previous one, maybe I could consider taking this. There's also the Expanding Ooze, though, if I just want to be, black and green. That said, there's also the Snapping Void Crow and the Writhing Chrysalis, really good combos. Especially this Chrysalis seems pretty insanely good for a common. It's effectively a 4-5 reach for 4, and you can of course use the tokens for some mana, and you might have spawns from other sources too. This is a really good common. Red Mobile. Right, I'm gonna try to be like black-green. I think I like the Expanding Ooze quite a bit too. Now, it should be totally reasonable to take the Writhing Chrysalis, but maybe I'm gonna pass the Eldrazi stuff for now. I'm taking this Ooze. Let's see if this green-black is gonna work. This is quite nice, 3 mana, 3/3. You adapt for 2 mana, it becomes a 4/4, and then when this attacks, it can even put counters on itself. It doesn't say another target modified creature you control. So assuming you have adapted, this is gonna attack as a 5/5 on the next turn, if you can pay the 2 for the adapt ability. Alright, so there's a waterlogged teachings. It's fine even if you don't have blue. Of course, these dual color MDFC lands are better when you need both colors. I don't see a lot of green and black here though. I might need to change my plans a little bit. What is open here? I think white is somewhat open. The battle wagon can be quite good. This is red. I think white is the most open, so I'm gonna just take like the Evangel. The proliferate can matter quite a bit if I can proliferate the counters for this Selith and whatever. But I will still try to be black-green if I can, but it doesn't seem like it's necessarily going to happen. The only green card here is the Foul Strike. Well, at least I didn't miss much by passing the Eldrazi's, which were green, because it seems green won't be a thing, so I'm gonna lose the Ooze and the battle most likely here. And okay, there's the auxiliary. I do like the Proud Pack Rhino though. This is fine, but yeah, the Proud Pack Rhino is just a really decent set of abilities here. The Troller isn't very good. It's nowhere near as good as the Bridgeworks Battle. Alright, another... Oh, there's a horrific assault here. What is this? Wow. There is an or area auxiliary which can be quite good if you have a lot of low drops, so you can guarantee to get 2 +1/+1 counters out of this. This needs 2 other creatures for that to happen. But there is a horrific assault, which is really good for the for the green black stuff. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take it or the auxiliary here. Is green? I do feel like green isn't open, and this is just a late big decent green card, but maybe I'm just gonna go for the white. I think white is more likely to be open than green, and now all of a sudden I'm not getting any black. Now I could be white green too. There is the Hex Gold Slith, which I'm taking here. The Ooze Wag is okay. The Petrifying Meddler is nice. This thing. Alright, I'm taking the Hex Gold Slit because this is a really nice 2-drop and also works with the proliferate stuff. So let's go here, and I don't know about my second color, but I'm pretty sure that I will be white something here. Thramp and Charm, fine, totally. But there's a Stomp Stomp, funny name for the card. If I'm still gonna be green, this is gonna be a fantastic addition to the deck. The other option is to just take the white card because I know I will be playing white regardless. But I think I'm gonna keep a chance for the green. Also, it's possible I'm turning into red drafter and then I can still use this card. And there's Inspired and Inventor here. Nothing too amazing, but totally a reasonable 3-drop with nice options. I'm taking it over the Triton Wavebreaker. Alright. I don't know about my colors yet, so I don't know which of these lands will be useful. And here I have, well, this doesn't even get me a plane, so that's not important. There's the Accursed Marauder and there's a Colossal Red Mask. I'm not sure if I would be playing a 6-drop even if I'm green-white. So I guess I'm taking the Marauder here. And just in case, I will be white and black. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of these late red cards. Also, this thing is quite good. I have no blue cards though, but this is a good one for sure. Ooh, could take this one. Well, I'm taking the white blue one. And there's a couple of red options. I'm not interested in the Glimpsed Impossible for this white deck. The Siege Smash is okay, but I think I'm taking the Teachings here. We'll see. And then there's a couple of decent options. I actually like the Foul Strike slightly more because of the the reinforce ability than the okay, this is nice pack than the white card that can return something from the graveyard. Alright, I'm taking a Mythic Rare here. Kozilek might be the better card out of these, but I'm not exactly sure if I can be drafting a deck that gets a 9-drop. And Ayani Nakatl Pariah. It's basically a 2-mana 2/1 and a 1/2. That's a very fantastic card. You would always play that. And then of course you have a chance to transform this quite easily. Just let the cat friend die while Ajani stays alive, and you get this Planeswalker which has decent abilities. You can basically switch between the 0 and +2. Well, I guess the -4 is not impossible either. Okay, anyway, I'm taking the uncolor Mythic Rare here. I guess the other one was just a colorless one, but it requires some certain help from the deck because it is a 9-mana card. I'm not really well prepared to cast 9-mana cards given what I have here. Okay, that's an interesting one. Lethal Takedown can be good. I have to make a decision about my second color. Will it be black or green or maybe even blue or red? There's nothing too amazing from blue or red, so I think it's gonna be black or green. I also like the Obstinate Gargoyle, but I think the removal spell is the safest. I like the 1-mana removal over the double caster 3-mana removal. Yeah, I'm taking the takedown, and maybe this will be white and black. Okay, another Metastatic Evangel. What's this thing? Oh, this thing makes fly. At least, well, it makes a flyer, and then you can have can populate. Of course, you need to have at least one creature token to benefit from the populate ability, but hopefully your spirit will survive. I think I still might take the Evangel here. What else do we have here? This thing. Yeah, some good green stuff is going past. I'm taking the 3-1 Proliferator. Let's try to get some +1/+1 counters, even more than I currently have. This is useless in limited. Buried Alive, no, no, no. Alright, this is a weak pack. This is more like a... Well, I guess this could still be played. Another horrific assault here. The land doesn't help. Yeah. Do I want to play another of these Marauders? I guess as a sideboard card it makes some sense. Right. I just don't think the Transmogrant is gonna be the kind of card I'm interested in. Although I can proliferate these counters with the double Evangels. Alright, let's actually pick it. It has actually some synergy. You can, use... Well, if you have an Evangel on the battlefield, you can return this to the graveyard, from the graveyard, and then of course this will trigger the proliferate ability, so it will get a third counter as well, which is something. The inside inventor, there's a land that can fetch both of my colors. I am assuming that this will be a white black deck. This transformer is not a bad one either. Okay, this is... Then there's the inventor here. Okay, I'm taking the inventor. I think it is the kind of card that I might be interested in the most. How many artifacts do I have? Not a lot. So the familiar is... It's still playable if you don't have... If you can't make it cheaper with the affinity ability, but it's definitely better when you can cast this for 1 or 2 mana. There is a Dross Claw as well. I'm not sure if that is the kind of card I want to have. I guess I'm going to be an aggressive deck, so maybe I will take that over the familiar. Although I guess the flyer, I don't have that many expensive things, and the fact it flies, it's maybe a reason to pick it. This is better when you have at least access to green or blue, and of course this requires colorless mana, which I'm not gonna be able to have that easily. So no thanks there. What's about this? This is... You need more artifacts to make this really good. Well, guess I'll take the Gargantua here. The Orim's Chant is not really that great. Okay, Blood-Soaked Insight. So this is basically just the Endless Tapped black producing land, and then you can use the Insight maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. The Winged is okay, but this can be very nice in the games when you can actually cast it. This is hybrid, of course, so I don't need red to cast this. Alright, what is going on here? Periodic Rebirth. I'm not going to splash anything here. I'll just take the rare here for 20 gems, because I don't really plan on playing any of these other cards. And I should actually cut some of this business in here. Okay, I got the Obstinate Gargoyle back. I'm very happy about that. Yeah. I remember seeing that earlier. I'm not sure how open my colors really are. And I'm somewhat unlucky with the lands. I don't get a lot of black and white ones. I'll take the uncommon here. Do I have enough playables? That is another good question. I'll never play the Buried Alive, but I might as well pick it. Alright, I get 20 gems. I'm not gonna cast a 7-drop here in this deck, so I'll take 20 gems. And a good card for different colors. Okay, I got a Sorin as well. I think I'm gonna take it. I'll cut the... Okay, this is a land that I can use. This is a land that I can use. I guess this is the deck so far. Alright. Anyway, Lelia is really good too. This is a little clumsy. You have to pause properly and read the cards if you don't know about them. I don't have time to, hover over these for that long. Anyway, Sorin of House Markov is another very good card, because I think that just having a 1/4 Extort Lifelinker for 2 is gonna be good, and then sometimes you can maybe flip it, and that's good enough for me. I'm gonna take it here. Another Master the Departed, and then there's a Nadir's Nightblade. Yeah, I don't know how many tokens I'm gonna have. Quest for the Necropolis. I don't know. I don't know. How about this thing? Will I try this? I don't know how good is it gonna be. I could just take the insight here. How many creatures I have? 15. Actually, I don't have a lot of interaction here. Wow. I think I'm going to take the insight here. Some card draw. I just don't think this is going to be that amazing. Maybe I'm wrong, but here it is. And this thing can flicker your stuff. Okay. The kite and the gargoyle are here. There's also now a land that produces both my colors. I don't have actually that heavy mana requirements. There are no double casters apart from this, but it's a pretty late game card if I'm gonna cast this anyway. So I'm not too worried about the lack of fixing in this deck. I'm taking the gargoyle. I think it's at least worth considering. I think it might be quite good. I wanna be able to modify it. So we'll see if that's gonna happen or not. Okay, now there's another land that would fix my mana, but oh, there's an abstruse appropriation. So it's just an exile target non-land permanent at instant speed for 4 mana, and then sometimes I can cast it. I don't have a lot of colorless mana in this deck. I don't think I have any, but sometimes I can exile a white or a black card, and then I can cast it. So I'm taking this good removal spell. I have a very low amount of removal in the deck. So that's very welcome addition. Okay, breathe your last. I was really interested in this auxiliary thing. I have one of them already at least. I think I'm gonna need some removal. I have a lot of creatures, enough for creatures and not that much interaction, so I'm taking the breathe your last here. And what else? Okay, I get now a choice between Thrap and Charm and an auxiliary number 2. I do like the auxiliary now with double metastatic evangel. That's actually really good. You know, when you have this on the battlefield and another creature, and then you play this, you get 2 +1/+1 counters, basically, thanks to the proliferate. So I do like that synergy so much that I'm gonna take this auxiliary over the removal spell. Alright, another option to take that. Oh, this is a sweet one, but not of course for me. Requires both colorless and red mana. The Indebted Spirit. Oh, this is a really nice one too. The auxiliary and the charm are good, but I actually am taking this Indebted Spirit. I like the bestow because I have a couple of these gargoyles which I do want to modify even before they get to modified by the persist ability. Alright, I get options. The Dream Drinker Vampire is good. How about my mana curve? I could use the Vampire, but this is... Check out the top 6 artifact enchantment. Yeah, I think I like the Vampire more here. I'll be quite aggressive here. Oh, look at this. I would actually take all of these cards. This and this. Do I take the Slith or the 3-drop? I guess I have 5 3-drops, so I'm just gonna make sure I have 2 drops as often as possible, so I'm taking it here. And... Alright. I don't think I have that many tokens to truly benefit from this ability. This is a little random. It can get a creature from the opponent's graveyard too, but I'm just gonna take the Master the Departed. Maybe some opponents will be kind of weak against flyers and the 1/1s can do some work. Here I finally got to pick a very late one of these lands that can actually fix my mana. I'm happy about that. And then there's stuff. And there's another refurbished familiar. Okay, last pick Conduit Goblin. Really good one in red-white. I think there's no red-white drafter in this table. Okay, this is 28 cards right now. And the number of artifacts, I have 6. That gives slight chances for the refurbished familiars to be 3 mana cards. So these things are lands. Did I have any other? No, this is a planeswalker. Yeah, there's no other modal card here. So I have these things are lands, which means, you know, they kind of affect how you put basic or other lands in your deck. The more you have these, the fewer other lands you you need. But also, it's not a great idea to just consider these only as lands. I like to usually consider the first one as a land, so that I will add 16 lands. The second one usually means that it will kind of be, I won't be going down to 15 other lands, because you also want to have a deck that has access to a lot of lands so you don't miss land drops, depending on the mana curve, of course. But let's say, for instance, if I played these things and 16 other lands, I would have a deck that has 24 spells but still has 18 lands. And of course, total cards would still be 40, not more than that. So I think I'm going to play both of these, although this only fetches instants. So let's see how many of them. It is an instant itself. And the fixing doesn't matter. It's not a black and white producing land. It's only an Endless tapped black producing thing. The number of instants is actually only 4, so it is probably not worth even playing this thing. No. It can get some of the instants, the Breathe Your Last, Eviscerator's Insight, and then there's one other thing. What is the instant? Okay, the Abstruse Appropriation. That's actually a pretty good one to fetch, but still, paying 4 mana to fetch and 4 mana instant means you actually have to pay a total of 8 mana to cast this. It's not that optimal. I'm going to cut these and I will add 16 lands, but I will play the Blood-Soaked Insight because I do like what it does. Because it's of course not a 7 mana card. This spell costs 1 less for each point of life the opponent lost that turn. So post combat, I can play this. It might cost like 4 mana, for instance, and then they will exile 3 cards, and then I can cast those cards and play if they are lands. Not only on my current turn, but also on my next turn. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. So that's a good kind of a way to. I'm just gonna replace a land. So this would be a 17 land deck otherwise, but this functions as a black producing land, and also can be a spell when I have enough lands already. So this means I will cut 3 more cards so that I can add 16 lands total here. And what are the cards I'm going to cut? I think from the main deck the Accursed Marauder is easily cut. I have a lot of 2-drops, so I don't need it for that reason either. Okay, I like the remaining 2-drops, I like quite a bit. The Master the Departed, I think this is also a sideboard card. Populate allows you to populate any token, a creature token. But I don't think I even have some big creature tokens, so the best populated target would be one of these spirits. And the usefulness of those, I don't know. I'm going to cut it from the main deck. Then I will cut 1 more card. I guess I can play the Gargantua as my like a curve topper. It is totally a reasonable thing. Of course, a 5 mana 4/4 is not so good, but if you get to untap with it, and if you get to adapt so that, well, the opponent can still respond to the adapt ability so that you don't get to draw the cards. But if you can, just make it a 6/6 and draw 2 cards, that will be a fine curve topper for me. So I'm going to play the Gargantua. I think that the retrofitted Transmogrant might not be what I need, mostly because there's not that many things that can be used to sacrifice it. The Lethal Throwdown is one. And yeah, there is the synergy with the Metastatic Evangels, but I don't know. I have to cut something. I just think it is the least important card here right now. I want to play the one Eviscerator's Insight. I like that this card has the flashback ability, so this is going to get you some cards if I have some flooding out issues. Also, I can just sacrifice like an Obstinate Gargoyle or the Persist version of it. I have some easy things to sacrifice. Of course, the ideal situation is to sacrifice something in response to opponent trying to remove, but that won't always happen. So I have some other kind of fodder, not just the Transmogrant, which I'm about to cut, that I can use for the insight to draw some more cards. And I think the most important thing that Transmogrant does is it allows me to have the refurbished familiar maybe on turn 3, if I have this earlier, because I don't have early artifacts more than the Slith and the Transmogrant. The Gargoyle is an artifact, and I have 2 of them, but of course, if I play this on turn 3, this will be a turn 4 play anyway, so... yeah, I'm gonna cut the Transmogrant. This will be 19 creatures, 5 non-creatures, out of which 1, 2, and 3 are removal. Or is there something else? There's a card draw. What am I not seeing here? Oh, this is not removal, so this is the last non-creature. Okay, I might be in trouble in matchups where I really need the removal, but I guess I can sideboard this in, because this can fetch me some interaction. But yeah, this is the deck, and let's put the lands. This is the only land I'm gonna play, and this I could still use this as a land, but I don't want to play 15, regular lands, and then this. If this was able to produce black and white, of course, then it would be just a good mana fixing land. But here I'm going to choose to not play it at all, and rather have, more enters untapped lands. And this is pretty even mana base. I should just, have the landscape here. I know this is an additional black producing land, but yeah, it's pretty easy. No, it's not an additional. This is actually one of my 17 lands. So yeah, this makes it easy now. I'm going to add these lands, and basically that means I have a 9 mana base if I can count these as both black and red. This is going to be able to produce black if I need it. So that is the main deck. This is not a great hand. I needed one of the white producing lands, but I don't have any of them, so this is a mulligan. Oh man. I have kind of like a 9/9 mana base, and I get 2 of these. I at least have a 2-drop here. So I'm going to keep this. I just don't know if I'm supposed to get rid of the Gargantua. It's a 5-drop. Yeah. I need to draw a white producing land anyway, in order to win the game. So I'm assuming I'm gonna get there. Okay, they played the land, and I get more swamps. He's gonna get a Jeskai color land plains. Okay, that's the. This can make an attacker gain lifelink. Yeah, for 2 energy. Alright, so blue-white energy it is. They are on the play. Are they gonna waste energy here? I mean, it's not necessarily waste, but I would expect them to not use it this early, and they did not. Oh man, this is horrible. I mean, here's the only thing I can do, so I just hope they don't have interaction for this. I really needed to draw a white producing land, so I can just play an inventor this turn. Yeah, this is really horrible now. I mean, I guess I start these recorded videos with this, in this set, with non-game. I can still win the match, of course, but my chances to win this game are very slim right now if they just have any reasonable set of cards in there. Because I'm not going to raise these things. I guess the auxiliary thing can block the gargoyles, but I'm assuming they have interaction pump spells or whatnot. So this will be very difficult. They also are stuck at 3, which means they have a handful of spells. Not good news either. Alright. Can this... Okay, this actually can remove a permanent from them. Not a permanent, but can remove a counter from them. So let's remove... What? Remove a counter from another target permanent or... What do you mean? Okay, I don't know. I didn't know about the interface there. So I could now use the lethal throw down to get rid of one of these things. I mean, look at the opponent's deck, by the way. This is amazing. They have multiple these things. So because I would draw now a card because this thing is modified, and I guess that is my best chance to try to. That is my best chance to try to, you know, get back to the game I need in place right now. Yeah, 5 draws. No, none of them was after actually 6 draws because I'm malignant. So none of them was a white producing land. So. And now, of course, even if I get the planes, this is just a 3/3 without benefiting from the support ability. You have to target other creatures with the support ability. So I guess they don't know about my second color is that valuable. I don't think it's gonna affect their sideboarding too much. What are they thinking? I have 2 open mana, so maybe that is somehow gonna matter for them. I'm at 8 now if they don't pump those guys. They have 2 attacks and then I'm dead. Yeah, this was a total non-game, not a chance whatsoever. And based on what I saw, I don't mind sacrificing the Marauder itself to basically trade with one of these gargoyles. Yeah, I'm gonna have a Marauder here, and then I'm going to cut. I don't know. Eviscerator's Insight. I guess blue-white doesn't have the greatest amount of interaction, so maybe I can cut this. I kind of like all the creatures in here, but I could definitely cut a creature because I have 20 of them here. I want to play the Gargantua still as a curb topper here. Alright, let's get rid of the insight. That's that. Okay, I like this a lot more. Actually, this would be a crazy good curve out. If I can play this on turn 2, this on turn 3, and if I have a 4th land, I will actually get 3 counters if the opponent doesn't interact with my earlier drops. Both of these would become 6/4s. Right, that's not a bad one, but I definitely want to have the 4th mana now. Oh, there's actually basic mountain, so they had one of the trap and charms. Alright, well, now it's a little different. I'm actually playing Sorin right now because I'm actually interested in the extortion here right now. Do they have an island? They actually have nothing. Right, well, this is fine. So they kept a hand without blue. I can extort. You can read what the ability does there if you don't know what it does. So I get to drain some life when they when I get to cast spells. But yeah, this is a non-game. I don't need to give this thing first strike if they have no interaction, and they don't. Alright, so this is great. This has now a counter, so I can actually play this extort. And now I can proliferate this counter, but I am assuming the opponent is gonna concede because, yeah, this was totally a weird game where the first two games were not really a proper games of Magic at all. I will be on the draw. I don't think I needed. I care about this departed thing because they had those 2/2 flyers, which are of course very good against my 1/1 flyers. So that's not gonna be played, and I don't think I'm gonna change anything else either. So let's just keep this. Okay, can I have a good hand now as well? I have a ton of 2-drop, so I really expect to get a 2-drop. Well, there is a 2-drop, but again, I mean, this hand is actually really good if I get a white producing land in top 3 cards. Because, yeah, I'm gonna risk it now. If nothing else, I can play this and adapt it, and then after I have adapted it, I can, you know, sack it to destroy something and draw a card. I mean, that's risky if they have removal, but I can just naturally draw the freaking planes, and then this hand will be just great even if they kill this vampire. So I'm gonna go for this. You should keep, I mean, you should not always go to 6 if your hand can really be good. But okay, they have this game 1 start here, and you know, I might have it too. This might, I know this was a risky keep and you can always go to 6, but the potential, the upside of having this you know, this hand is really good if I could get the planes. Now it's a moment of truth. I hope to get at least a swamp, but no. So I'm gonna adapt this thing and attack it. If they wanna block with both of their guys, it's, no, it's annoying, but it's acceptable. This has menace now for this turn. But of course, this is really messed up. The entire match will be non-games. And it's not like my mana is bad. I have 2 colors, I have 17 lands, even one that fixes effectively a 9/9 mana base. And this is all I have. Yeah, bye bye. Look at their start versus mine. Okay. Alright, I'm keeping it, but why cannot I have both colors? I'm keeping it because I have this 1 and 2 drop, although this is so much better when you bestow it, so I probably won't be playing it as a 1 drop. It will die into a 1/1 flyer, of course, thanks to Afterlife, but the bestow option for this is so much better. But we'll see what I draw here. Well, of course not a swamp. Not a swamp, but okay, I'm gonna wait for a bit. They are playing green. They did mulligan. So, do they have some mana ramp here? They, well, will have. Okay, so let's see if I can get like any land, because any land allows me to at least bestow here on the slith, and that would be nice. But of course, I just would prefer to get a swamp here. They have now 2 mana. That could be interaction, and okay. Can I play a game of Magic? I can't even attack, and I can keep it first strike, but they have a 3/3, so I couldn't even attack with my 2/1 first striker. Let's just I won't bother about the sideboarding. Okay, well this has black and white, and I have a lot of castable spells, so I'm going to keep it. But well, I think I can even miss some land drops given what my spells are. I can play the slit on turn 2 on the play. That's the best spot to have it, obviously. Now, I hope they don't have removal for it, but if they do, well, I have still continuation for my. I can maybe play a game of Magic here. But of course I need to win not only this game but also the next one in order to win the match. Okay, they have this has menace, so Right, how should I do it? I mean, it's nice to be mana efficient, but I also would want to have the Hex Gold Sleuth up as soon as possible. So I'm going to actually do this. I'm gonna get a... yeah, sure, you lose a counter from somewhere. I'm gonna play the Sleuth right now. It's not mana efficient, but it's something that is still, I think, a reasonable choice, because I'm going to have the option to figure out who I should be bestowing. This, for example, has Menace, so this might be unblockable if they, you know, don't produce another creature. And if they only have like 2, well, it depends on. This can be a first striker. Yeah, I like the way I played this. If they have removal, hopefully it's only going to be like 1. Okay, they chose that. This guy is more dangerous. I think the Slit is better. But, okay. They missed the land drop. Is this gonna be another match where game 1 and game 2 are known games? We'll see about that. Alright, Sorin. This will flip if I can gain for somehow 3 life. Which is possible if I play these and then, you know, bestow it. Well, I don't know if that's the best thing to do. Proliferate. I think I'm just gonna play this with a shield counter, but should I give a shield counter to the Slith or something else? I think I'm gonna give it to the Slith. But I'm gonna first see if I'm gonna be able to attack here. Yes, I am. There's only 1 mountain they have up. Well, there is a red instant that can deal 3 for 1 mana. So let's do this. I'm still gonna bestow this thing, so I'm not gonna play it as 1/1. Well, this can actually remove a counter from any permanent, not only from the opponent's permanents. That's actually relevant for the persist thing I have. I can remove my -1/-1 counters from the persist creatures. Now the opponent hit a land drop here. So they also have blue, red, and... Okay, well this is gonna be some Eldrazi stuff. Actually this might just be played because it produces colorless mana for Eldrazi's. Now they will have a lot of mana for the next turn. I have the ability to exile 1 of their things. But I need to... figure out what's the best course of action here. I actually feel like the best course of action is just to maximize damage, and I'm gonna put a counter on the Rhino. But yeah, now they have... Well, I can exile 1 of the thing. I know I could have exiled the 1 Power Stone, but I think that's not the best play to make here. If they play 1 big thing, it depends on what the trigger is, because of course the Eldrazi's will have a cast trigger doing something. But we'll see about that. Okay, there's a Writhing Chrysalis. Okay, that is really good, of course. I cannot cast it myself, sadly. Because I need... Actually I have red mana, but I don't have green, because this says you can use colorless mana as though it were mana of any color. You cannot use generic mana. So I would have to have specifically colorless mana. Alright, well, the Metastatic Evangel is really good, of course. So they can actually make this thing into a 4/5 by sacking these things. But what I can do here is I can just proliferate this into a 5/5 right now, and also I can proliferate the shield counter, which is incredibly strong. So I do want to do it like this now. I won't be using the appropriation quite yet. This allows me to do some very nice proliferating. I even get energy. I don't know if that's gonna matter for anything though, but might as well. So there will be now 2 shield counters, and this is at most a 4-5 with the board state they have, so this is a good attack now. With these 2 guys. And this thing has menace, so they can jump block like the Rhino if they want to, but jump blocking this is a little bit more difficult to do. They're gonna get a land, so they don't have anything but colorless mana remaining. There is still a Dismember, you know, in this set actually. They could cast a Dismember by paying 4 life. Okay, nothing whatsoever. So, yeah. I have a pretty wide board and I have a Sorin here, so any spell I cast will allow me to extort. I don't know how it's gonna happen here right now. They can have life gain, of course. There is an Eldrazi that can gain them a bunch of life. Based on the amount of colorless permanent they have, and they have a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus all the lands. 9. I think that one particular, although they don't have mana, they would have to. I don't actually remember how much mana that costs. They would have to sack a few of these spawns, but it's possible they're gonna gain a bunch of life. So the extort ability from Sorin of House Markov might not be that relevant. Messenger, whenever you draw your second, you have to draw your second card. It's not like casting your second spell. If they draw another card, then they will get a spawn. Okay, well that's not the kind of a big Eldrazi I was worried about at all. So, I can go for the win here. Oh, but the area auxiliaries. I mean, if they were tapped out, I would, but they might. This thing has shield counters though, because this has menace. I can just. No, actually. No, I somehow thought this gives flying, of course. The afterlife only produces flying tokens, so no, I cannot go for the win. I thought I could make this fly and then they can't block it with. Oh, but this thing has even reach. Alright, let's forget about all that. I'm gonna play the auxiliary, but I have to figure out who are gonna get the counters. This is still going to only be a 4-5. So... This Sorin says any target also. That's actually pretty sweet. Yeah, okay, let's go here now. Just I don't get the extortion value here, which is fine, I guess. Who are gonna get the counters? I'm gonna proliferate more to these guys regardless. So first support and then proliferate. That's the order you wanna do it, and the automatic choice does it. Maybe I'm just gonna give Sorin a counter. They might have something. They of course have mana like 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 6 mana for red and green spells, and colorless of course. So let's see if they're gonna have a Ghost Fire Slice. Okay, Sorin is dead. And then I'm gonna proliferate. Proliferate like this, and so this is a instant deal to any target, including players, by the way. Very good removal spell. So attacking, this is still going to be a 4-5, so attacking with the inventory isn't gonna make that much sense. So let's go here. I'm gonna probably have to exile this in the end, because it also has reach to block the auxiliary. But at least they cannot take any more damage, they have to make blocks now. Okay, they go for jump blocks. The Slith is a menace creature, they have to put 2 there. And then they can double block the Rhino, which doesn't matter to me. The main point is that I get to eat the Chrysalis, which will become, once they sacrifice these spawns, this will be a 4-5, but 6 damage will be enough to deal with it. So I don't have to, you know, use my appropriation to get rid of the Chrysalis here. They will have this thing alive. Okay, they can actually do that, but it doesn't matter. This is still gonna be only 6 toughness. I did forget that they can actually have the adapt mana here. But the Craslis is still dying. That's what matters. It doesn't even make any sense for them to actually sacrifice the remaining one. Alright, so maybe the Slith is gonna do some nice work. It has 3 shield counters. Now they have blue, so they could have bounce, of course. But the damage and destroy effects won't be that good against the Slith right now. Okay. They had a Snapping Void Craw. Eldrazi Turtle. Okay, so they are like Timur. Mostly red-green, but also some blue. Eldrazi, which is the Eldrazi colors, of course. This is also blue, so I guess they have also these early drop blue cards, but they have a lot of fixing, so it's not that difficult in this set to get 3-color mana to work. Okay, so I know now that they are straight up Eldrazi's, and what does that mean? The Marauder is, of course, forcing them to sacrifice a non-token creature, so I think every creature they have is gonna be worth trading with. And do I need to have like interaction fetching here? I could replace this with a swamp if I feel like I need it. They have some ways to block flyers, of course, but this is interesting maybe. But I need to cut something now that I took the one card in. Maybe the inside again, or I think I just like my creatures quite a bit. The familiar is good too. The Gargantua is gonna be good refill. I'm not going to put the teachings in. I want to have a smooth curving out because I think that's kind of needed in order to have a chance in this matchup. They will win the kind of long game. So maybe the inside is also a little clumsy and I just should ignore it. Alright, I'm gonna cut the inside. That's that. Look at this. Both colors. Only 2 lands, of course, but I also have 2 playables here, and if I can have 1 land. This, by the way, is creating a server token, which means it will help with the affinity here. Alright. Nakatl Pariah will be the first one. I don't know if I have actually any more cats. I should have checked. Because the Planeswalker side also cares about having cats. I mean the Planeswalker side, but the front side does too. Alright, the opponent mulliganed. They start with 6 cards now. There is a 3rd land immediately, so this will not be a non-game. Unless, well, it can be a non-game from their side, of course. But I should be able to play my stuff. How good is it gonna be? We will see. Actually, I'm tempted to play the Sleet first before the Ajani. Okay, they have the Messenger, which is fine. 2-1. I'm the one who is the aggressor, so this is fine. And now if I need to, I can even make this a 3-power creature with the Inventor. This puts the counter on any target, not just itself. But of course I would ideally put the counter on the Gargoyle, because then this would be a 3-3 flyer with Persist. But we'll see. What do they have here? If they have only 2 toughness creatures. Okay, this is gonna create a spawn. Alright. 2 spawns, because they will also, get the benefit from this thing. So now I don't have to use my energy yet. They have to either jump or let this grow. That's a great one. Alright, so let's not give them any further information. I don't think there's any limitation to decline. Limitation to yeah, how many? But it does say non-token, so it's actually not going to get double trigger from Najani. But what I could do here, is just play the Gargoyle and then well, maybe it's not worth. I'm just trying to be mana efficient somehow, because next turn... Oh, I don't have 2 white. Oh, forget about that. I was really thinking I can play the Evangel and the Ajani on the next turn, but I cannot unless I draw the planes, which I'm not gonna count on. So let's just play this thing right now, and the Slit will start getting further counters for each creature. It's actually also possible that I should play the Inventor. Well, let's first see how they are gonna play their turn. Are they gonna tap out? Will there be interaction? They do have red mana from the landscape, but it's of course going to enter tapped. Now they have a total of 6 mana here, so this could be some huge Eldrazi right now. And I don't have interaction myself here. So, well, actually it's not that huge. At 6 mana there are still good options, but not they are also more expensive than 6 mana ones. So I could play the Inventor and get a +1/+1 counter and stack the triggers, of course, so that the Proliferate will apply. But we'll see. I also want to play this while they have a... Well, actually, I will get to draw a card if they don't discard anything, so you can't really miss with the Familiar. You will either draw a card or make them discard always. Nyxborn Hydra, okay, 3/4 with Reach and Trample. They didn't go for bestow options because, kinda understandably, it would be... the stat boost would be lower. Now. I'm going to make the Sleet into a 4/3 and I can give it first strike. Yeah, I don't think I need the Inventor quite yet. I can do it on the next turn. So, I'm going to just play the Gargoyle with the idea that I can give this a counter on the next turn with the Inventor, perhaps. Anyway, I will also get more energy, which is quite good because it is important to be able to give this first strike more than once. I won't be proliferating more counters to them. That would be foolish. Now I will attack here with this guy. I have to give it first strike. I don't want to trade with the Hydra. It is not that big of a deal necessary for them to just jump block with the 0/1, but I guess it does take, you know, mana from them and also... Okay, they care about their mana. This will get another counter now. So this is no longer trading with the Hydra. But I am also a little scared about their big play, which will be now a 7 mana play. If they have a land drop here. They didn't have this untapped, so they still are lacking the red mana. Okay, now 7 mana plays. They can be pretty good ones. Okay, that is not one of them. I'm now starting to be very tempted about making them discard a card. Because they have only 2 more cards left. Right, Sorin is good. It is really tempting. So now this thing... The thing is, I cannot play the Inventor and the Refurbished Familiar. That I cannot do. Yeah, I would need 1 more mana for that. That would be the ideal turn, because I can make this into 4/4 by giving it a counter and then the Proliferate trigger resolves after that, and this would be a 4/4 flyer, which helps against the Hydra, of course. But... Okay, I'm gonna play the land, and I'm going to play Sorin here now. I want to, of course, proliferate here. I guess I have to play both creatures so that I have energy. Yeah, I mean, I want them to discard a card now. I kind of lose on proliferates because this +1/+1 counter could have been, you know, proliferated twice in here. Oh, they have the 3 mana 2/2 that counters the spell, don't they? If I don't pay 1 mana, that is. Okay, they did not. So they now have to. They now have to choose what to discard here. Monstrous Vortex. Okay. Gonna attack with this. They basically have only 7 power there. I mean 5 power to my 6 toughness, so I should not even need to use first strike here. Okay, so I don't know how relevant it was that they had to discard this. They will have a big play for the next turn. Okay, they have actually. They don't have a big play for the next turn because this double block doesn't work. Oh, I guess we'll see what they're gonna have here. But this is the last card. So there's no big Eldrazi coming on the next turn, which is very good for me, even if I lose the Slith here. Foul Strike. I mean, they still lose both of their things. This is a great trade for me. Wow, they are top decking. They are top decking. Don't top deck something crazy as the first thing, please, opponent. Yeah, this is great if they don't get a crazy good top deck right now. They do have access to red mana now. Okay, they got a cycling land. Now they are down to 5 mana. This 5 mana can't be anything too crazy. So I'm gonna have an attack. Okay, more mana production. Right, so now I can have a very good attack. But before that, I'm of course going to... Okay, the bestow one is good, but let's start with the +1/+1 counter, which I can then proliferate. I'm not going to extort because I'm going to play also Najani here. So decline about this. And who's gonna pick the counter? It could be the familiar. I mean, it seems like the most reasonable. I guess it could also be Sorin, in fact. Could have made it into a Planeswalker. I could have actually done it if I extorted. Well, maybe not. They can actually block and then sack to prevent the life gain. That's correct. So let's give it to the flyer. I was supposed to give it to the gargoyle. Okay, well, fine. It is what it is. Alright, let's do this now. And I can make the familiar into 5 power creature. Yeah, this would have been slightly better. I mean, it definitely would have been better. But it is fine. I would have 2 flyers instead of just 1. So I made a mistake. I was planning to give the counter always to this, but other things happened, and now I kind of played suboptimally. Now this is a lot of damage, and I guess they can... Yeah, they can't jump block the 5 power creature, so they have to jump a 3 power creature. Now the extortion, of course, is gonna be very nice too, but also, I mean, look at the amount of attackers I have. Even if they draw 1 big Eldrazi, can they withstand this board? Most likely not. Okay. Hopefully in the last match there will be less non-games. Okay. This is good. Keep it for sure. I can cast everything and I will most likely... If I draw now a land immediately, then I will not play this as a land. But if I don't draw a land... Okay, I did. Then there's a chance I can still use this as a spell. So... I'm still planning to play the Slith on turn 2 to maximize the chances to make it, make it start growing. Okay, now that I drew another land, I'm definitely leaving this as a spell. Okay, I feel they have a removal, but so what? If they have, they have. I don't think I want to play the Sorin here now, because it's only 1 power. Okay, they had a cycling instead. Jolted Awake. So, will I have an attack with the Slith? Nope. They had a 3 toughness creature. This can tap. Alright, so there's no way for me to make a counter in here, which means that I'm going to probably just play this guy. If I was on the play, this would be so different with the Slith on turn 2, and then this would, be able to would have attacked before they got to play their Zealot. But that's the big difference between play and draw. Oh, that's gonna... This card is so crazy. Whenever they get energy, they just pick off my guys. Oof. That's demoralizing. This only destroys creatures, of course. Can I flip this thing? At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, if you gain 3 or more life. Yeah, because this thing has lifelink, but is there like a secret way to... No, I don't think I can flip this turn. They also have this tap ability there, of course. But I'm losing to this. Whenever they get energy, I'm gonna lose creatures. Right, so what to do? I think what I can do is I'm gonna play this. Just play this, give the Slith a counter. And that forces them to tap it. And then I can attack with the 2-1. I mean, it doesn't force it, but I'm happy if they choose to tap it. I'm also happy if they choose not to tap it, and I can connect with my lifelinker. None of this will matter though, because if they have a handful of energy producing cards, you see what's gonna happen. They're gonna just chain gun every guy away. Yep. Okay, every creature will produce. Alright. I mean, they kill the vampire and then they kill the Slith. And that's how you lose to the Revolt. I lost to this card earlier, an unrecorded draft too. It was my first draft of the set. The only match I lost in that was a match where in both games the opponent got an early Aether Revolt. This is insane. At least it's rare, not like an uncommon. Don't know if I really care about anything, any changes. I mean, I can still play the Marauder and not play the Inside. I kind of like the card draw though. Well, let's have the removal. Kind of removal. Alright, well this is a good hand, but that's Aether Revolt, because that entire game was over the moment they played it and had, the energy producing cards. Alright, that is a really, really good card, but at least I, can kill it. I have even the double black here. Plus, this can, eat their energy away. So if they don't kill the Slith, that's pretty great. And they proceed and kill it immediately. This is like an insanely good, this is like an A-level card. This is... Alright, they had it. This card is beyond sick. So, I'm going to play this and then... Hopefully this thing can get going. I didn't play this as a land because I still want to see if I keep hitting land drops, then I can actually use this as a spell. And I don't really need a third black source. If this was producing white, maybe then. Alright, they are gonna have a... Alright. So they're gonna make this into an angel. I would be very happy, of course, because I have removal. I even drew the abstruse appropriation too. Which I can use, by the way, to get rid of the souls. And then play it myself. Okay, they went for that, which means I probably... Well, let's see if I draw a land. I did not, so... To make things quite simple, I'm just going to... give this guy first strike. And then I'm going to kill the Guide of Souls before they untap, just in case. Just in case they have some kind of means to save it. Usually you want to use this card so that you give the +1/+1 counters to something else. I'm gonna play this now. Because, you know, that card is a must kill anyway, so why make it any better when you could enhance your other creatures? Okay, the Aether Revolt, I again lost the game. If they have energy production, and it's not difficult. Although this is exile target non-land permanent. Well, I haven't lost the game. That is great. Okay, this is... It's a shame that they actually... Oh man. I have to use the appropriation here. I think I have to. It would be a great turn to just play Sorin and the Marauder here. But I have... This is exile non-land permanent. Yes, it is. This would become a 4-3, but I guess it just is what it is. This is more important. I don't want to lose to that thing. I don't even have that much energy production myself, so not being able to cast this is not a big deal. The one red source won't be enough. So let's see if they get some energy. This could be a 4-3 right now, but it's not that difficult to play a creature that or anything that adds 3 energy, and then this would be just... would just kill the 4-3. But there's a chance now that I will not be able to connect with this guy anymore. At least they attacked with this lead. I know this grows, but I kind of want to see if I can attack here myself. And they got the energy, so at least I'm happy about this thing not existing. Alright, so time to play the Accursed Marauder. And let's see which one they are going to sack. Don't really care. They don't know about the Sorin that I'm going to play also. Okay, so they prefer to do that. I guess I can trade here. I still have my familiar here.
Famine nips at our heels.
And one backup removal spell. I've got like all my removal, and I needed them. They are not running out of gas here. This is going to be a 3-3, but this is a 1-4. Alright, this is a nice way to refill. And I can make them discard their last card, so this is all going well now. And it was a relevant card. Very relevant. I think it will be difficult to win this game though. I mean, not this game, but the match, because looking at their deck, this is all good stuff. So let's see. Well, I can try to... This is only gonna... Well, they have a lot of tapping available, but I don't worry about it too much. What am I gonna do with this guy though? I mean, of course I will be getting a shield counter, but who's gonna get it? It could be the guy itself. It could be the only flyer I have. I guess I'll protect the flyer. They might be flooding out slightly. Yeah, they are not gonna even consider the continuation there. That kind of tells me they don't have good top decks. But they knew I was missing land drops and I had all these cards still in hand. Right, so this is tough. They have like the Guide of Souls and they have the Revolt, which are just must kills, and then they have also very good cards. Like they have a lot of energy, so this thing will just pump out tokens left and right. This is a really efficient removal spell. I mean, I feel like the only way that I win here is that I'm getting lucky. Do I care about the Departed? I don't know how much the Morbid is gonna even trigger. Maybe not that much. I don't really see any way to make the deck better. Like, can I play the Eviscerator's Insight to maybe... Okay, actually, I'm gonna do one thing. I'm going to cut a swamp and play the Waterlogged Teachings as a land here. Because this allows me to get an answer to stuff like the Revolt. I don't have a lot of instants. I have basically 2 other instants to get, unless I'm going to play the Insight. Alright. Am I? I kind of feel like the Marauder is gonna be good, so I'm going to play that. The Rhino is good. The creatures are good. I like the discard creature too. I guess I'm not playing that, so I'm gonna remember it. There are only 2 instants to fetch. If I have already used them, I should play this as a land. Game or match 1 wipes here. They kept 7. I mean, this is... I really like I have this here because this is the one answer to the Ether Revolt here. If this was a plain swamp hand, of course I would have a 2-drop, 3 drops in here and all that. But... And I have even this removal spell for the 1 mana rare they have. But if I'm going to not find a swamp here, like ideally in top 2, unless I get a white 2-drop, this will be miserable. But also looking at their deck, it was a really good one. If I go to random 6 here, I think because I'm not a favorite to win here, I have to keep this in hope to find the swamp. Because this hand has actually the tools to deal with some of the problem creatures I've seen. And this hand is actually very good if I get a black sauce in top 2. So I'm keeping it, but this might be match 1 game 3 all over again. Alright, well, that is definitely of the non-swamp draws one of the better ones to get here. Okay, look at this. How lucky can one be? Alright, game is on. Game is totally on. They might have a removal for this, but so what? I have now my removal for their problematic things. Zealot is actually... Okay, even another one. I have the 4 mana for this thing now. Actually, I like this now a lot. So, what I'm gonna do here is, of course, just give a counter to the Slith so I can attack with the Slith. I'm gonna give it first strike. There's not much else to do with the energy, and it will be a 4-3, which they might kill, but anyway, then they have to use the removal on that thing, at least. Next turn I can just play the Vampire and adapt it if I want to, although you usually want to adapt it on your own turn actually. Right, there's a Kite. You know, because you want to benefit from the menace. Okay, they are going to deal with Alright, so this is the kind of thing that you can move around by paying energy. It auto snaps when you play it. You don't have mana cost equip ability at all here. It's only with energy. Now, I'm gonna play the land because this is an instant, I might need to use it. I really would want to leave it for the revolt, but let's see what happens because it feels like they have something. Okay, it actually feels like they don't have anything. And they're gonna raise here. Well, this is... Now I'm curious. They are going for the race here. I'm just thinking if I'm supposed to... I'm taking 5 here. I could play the familiar, of course. But I feel like they have a land still in the hand. I'm going to do this, but am I going to use the lethal throwdown? I'm not going to use it. I'd rather use it when this has the -1/-1 counter, because then it will be modified and this will draw me a card in that case. I don't think I'm gonna jump block though, but let's see what they do pre-combat. I mean, I guess I have to go to 11. There are gonna be some mass pump shenanigans that are possible, but... Okay, I'm actually gonna be a little bit safer. I'm gonna save some life now. This is still gonna enter the battlefield, of course. As a flyer even. Static Prison, which is going to exile my Hex Gold Slith. Alright, alright. They have energy to keep this. Okay, this is gonna be there for a long time. I guess I can actually use the appropriation to exile the prison and then maybe even... You know, I can use it myself. But one thing at a time. There's a lot of good options here now because I drew the auxiliary here, which is going to do a bunch of things. But I could just do what I was thinking about. Play the familiar, make them discard the last card. And then I can use the lethal throwdown to deal with like the zealot or something. I guess that makes sense. I will be top decking here anyway. What was the card? Sko Ember Mage. Okay, well that I'm happy that it's in the graveyard. Now, I could, you know, remove the -1/-1 counter using the auxiliary, but I don't think it's even relevant. I'd rather, in fact, sacrifice a modified creature here. Kill this guy. And I'm gonna draw a card. And they have only like 3 power here. And I can still use the auxiliary to pump these 2 guys, which will be quite nice. And they have to use their energy on the static prison, and of course if they want to equip, they will use 2 energy for that. And I'm willing to trade with the goblin, but they might go and well, no, they actually cannot move the flying equipment because then the germ would die. So now that they equipped the germ here, they actually... Yeah, the goblin will be just a 2/2 here. Yeah, I could easily just not even play the auxiliary on the next turn yet. I will be trading with the goblin if they attack with the goblin. Another zealot, more energy for them, okay? They can haste this up now, of course. Yeah, they have a fast tech. I can now choose to take 6 or trade with the Well, I think I can take 6 now, because I will have a blocker on the next turn. I'm going to now, you know, commence, let the racing commence. Although the Accursed Marauder is a really good one too, if I really want to play safely. But I was thinking about playing the auxiliary here. Make them go to 2, and then I have a lethal attack on the next turn. I will have a 3-3 blocker. But I guess it's better to just be safe here. I'm going to play the Marauder and sack the Inventor, in fact. And then the Vampire here as well. I mean, I hope they don't have a way to somehow... Yeah, they cannot sack a token here, so they have to lose the Tapper or the other guy. But now, I mean, can they deal 6 extra in the air? Well, yes, they can if they happen to draw a very big flyer. They got something back from here. Oh, what is that going to be? Can they get the Ember Mage here? It's gonna deal 4. Because isn't there the thing that returns a creature from the graveyard, and it makes you have it gives you 2 energy, and then you have to pay energy equal to the mana value of the creature. But I guess at that point, if they have to use 6 energy, they would go to 7. If I recall, does it give 3? No, I think it gives 2. They would go to 7, and then if they have to use 6, they won't have this 2. No, actually this only is 1. I still don't think that's good enough for them to win right now. It was a really good top deck if it was the one that can bring a thing back from their graveyard. Great top deck. I mean, imagine if they drew just a land, I win, or just a random creature that, even though they can haste it up, I have blockers here. They might have drawn one of the better draws they could have. But now let's see what they do. They are clearly thinking about it. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm rather sure that the one mana white spell. Well, okay, they do that, and I will not be able to block that, so I'm down to 5, and they could make me go to 1 if they have that particular. Okay, Detectives Phoenix. Oh, that's. They could have collected evidence, but and bestowed. But I guess it's... that wouldn't have been enough. They could have given this guy +2/+2 and Flying Man. I would have gone to 1. Okay, so how do I win here? Oh, well, I win very, very easily. Just exile this guy. Sorry, I didn't realize I have just lethal attack here. Man, that took way too much time. I was thinking about who I'm gonna target with the support ability, and but yeah, of course, the simplest way is to clear the blocker and then have enough attackers to guarantee lethal. But because I was thinking about this, you know, this will get menace however it gets the counter, so the auxiliary thing can give it counter, and then it would be a 3/2 menace, but it wouldn't have helped. This is what I had to do. Okay, what a game. So I think I had 1 extra life point. Otherwise I would have lost, because they could have bestowed it on the goblin. It would have been 4/4 flyer, and I would be at 1. Alright. Okay, so apart from the first match, pretty exciting games, especially the last one, and the deck the opponent had in the last one. I mean, they even had the Phoenix, which is like an A-level card as well, because you can use the bestow ability from the graveyard too. It is just a very, very good card, and I mean, the opponent's deck was just better than mine. But I kept the risky hand because it had the potential to, actually play a good game of Magic if I drew the swamp, and I did. So that kind of offsetted the match 1 bad luck. Alright, I don't know if this was really what the black-white deck is usually supposed to do. It's kind of like a modified payoffs. I did like the Evangel, double Evangel helping with a few things that can add counters. But for example, the refurbished familiar is more like a black-red card because then you can have the affinity, so that you can maybe just cast this for 1 or 2 mana. I played it mostly because I wanted to have some, a little bit more of these late drops, and it still has evasion. But yeah, I'm happy about the 2-1 result. I don't think this quite was good enough for 3-0, especially the last match. I mean, I could have easily gone 1-2 here if the opponent got a little bit more luck here in the last match. But yeah, this was now my first Modern Horizons 3 draft on the channel. I will be making probably these so that there's one per week, and there will be, I have already recorded before MH3 released, I recorded Outlaws of Thunder Junction draft, so that I will have videos publishing up until the next set. I will not be drafting any more OTG, but I did the videos earlier, so that's fine. I guess I'll see you in the next video then, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.